Hello everybody, Jim here to take a look at the new Reliant variants. I was going to wait until we got all of the 300 series in here and do a sort of ships of 3.5 video, but they're taking their sweet time getting the other 300 variants in, so we're going to do this instead. We are looking right now at the Reliant core. I know in a recent video they called it the Ko-Ray, in the Mako, in the Tana, and the Sen, and I'm sorry, this is the core, and that's the Mako. That's the Tana, and that's the Sen. Core and Mako. I mean, it just, daggone it, I want to be an old person someday, and old people, they don't change their ways, right? If my in-laws can get away with calling quesadillas and tortillas quesadillas and tortillas with a straight face, then I should be able to call this a core. Plus, core makes sense, because this is the base model, you know, the core model. Anyway, also, I mean, I'm sorry, you guys might notice something odd going on here. Please excuse my balls. This is the blue ball syndrome that Star Citizen, oops, see there, I've accidentally clicked on, I've touched my balls from across the room. That is not normal, that's not the way it should be. Star Citizen keeps giving me blue balls, and I don't understand why. Frankly, it's making me a bit testy. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, these guys with all of these balls around here. You could say that the developers are bananas. Huh? Also nuts. Anyway, so yeah, there's some visual issues here. But this is the core, and one of the changes to the core is that it finally got its turret back. I don't know what happened. It had a ball turret on here, or at least let you use the hard point back when it first came out. Then they took it away. Maybe they were doing some turret differences, right? They were changing up the turrets. And you could also pull this cap off, and this was also a size 3 hardpoint, which was pretty cool, but not any longer. I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, I'm not seeing the option to remove this, so maybe they've completely removed that from the game, and I'm not even sure it was ever actually supposed to be there. But you've got this turret, which is pretty cool because the co-pilot can use it as a turret. Over here, you have the Sen. I like the paint job. And it looks like this old turd-colored van I used to drive around. I like that very much because this reminds me of like a research vehicle, and that makes sense because it is a research vehicle. I believe currently, yeah, it looks like it's got the camera on here, but this is going to be a ball of science later on, as I understand it, or at least there will be an advanced sensor suite, and these are all switch-outable. But if you look, it's got these little solar panels here, which are really cool, like it's powering the camera or something, or maybe it's some kind of sensor. I don't know what they're supposed to be in fiction. I just know that they look good. Now, over this way, you have the one that I thought I was going to get, the Reliant Tana. It is the combat variant, and as you can see, it's got one larger gun on this hardpoint, and it looks really cool. Over here, you've got the missiles that are supposed to come out of here in the wings somewhere. I'm not sure where. They didn't like cheap out and make the missiles down here, did they? Because that would be cheap. It was supposed to launch missiles from here, and it's supposed to have, oh crap, what are they called? The casing that you put things, Savo? Is that what it's called? I can't remember. I'm sure it will be mentioned a million times in the comment because the word is not at the tip of my tongue. So yeah, thanks guys. Anyway. Yeah, it's got two turrets on the end, two big guns anyway, and they look good. They hit hard, but it is kind of weird because it's got these other two guns, and you've got a massive ship. I mean, it's not very tall, but it's very, very wide, and that's a huge spread for these guns. You almost need the gimbals and the turrets on there just so they can converge on your target. It's crazy. Over here, you have what I think is the best-looking ship of the lot, the Reliant Mako, and it looks good. Man, I love that yellow. My dream car, right? My dream vehicle, and this will show you how big a nerd I am. I want the Subaru Outback with the tiny little ridiculous truck bed in this color. That's my dream vehicle. If I could have any car in the world, for my own personal use, obviously I'd take something worth $1 million if I could sell it. But if I just any car for my own personal use and you're not allowed to sell it, it would be that car, and this looks like that. It's ridiculous, and I love it. This one is supposed to have the camera on here, although it doesn't have the... Let's get a look. You know what? That's odd. Maybe Okay, those are obviously cameras. What if I come over here? Is this just the camera texture and they're going to change it later? Because I thought it was... Yeah, that's identical to the shape of the camera over there. It's just got these things on here. That might just be a placeholder, and then this might be a part of the ship. But whatever. These look good. I like that a lot. The camera looks good, and this one has, for my money, the most interesting gameplay of the lot. Because if you think about it, the core, it's a cargo ship, but it's mediocre. It's a weird ship. It doesn't fly well. You can get that much cargo in a better flying ship, and it doesn't have to have this giant wing on it, and it looks good. And if you're into it because it looks good in flight, that's fine with me. But the same deal with this guy. This is a combat ship. You can get better combat ships for the money. This thing is not that great. It just kind of looks cool. And it does have its place, because in combat, we'll talk about that in a minute when we get to the inside. But these two, this one is a research vessel, and this one is basically a news van. And that's gameplay you can't get anywhere else, and gameplay that isn't necessarily damaged by the funky shape of the ship. So you're not really losing a whole lot. You get the cool looking ship, and you get the nifty transformation thing, but you don't lose, you don't have this massive profile for combat, and you don't have this wonky flying mechanic for a cargo ship. So anyway, still, all in all, they all look good in my opinion. And some of them actually make sense, from a gameplay standpoint, to have this camera way the crap out here, so you can really whip it around when you turn the ship, and you can change your angles. I don't know, it just seems like fun. Now let's go have a look at the inside, because that's what I was really interested in right now. Here we have the Reliant core in its flying position. And like I said, it looks good. I think it looks really good. I like the wings, and I from a visual standpoint, everything looks really cool and is a neat function. From a functional standpoint, not so much. We get the transformation thing here, so it's like... There we go. And now you've got the VTOL thrusters. But it would make more sense for me to have it the other way around. I don't know. You can't land like that, and you can't fly through atmosphere like this. So like when you're flying in atmosphere, your wing is vertical, and that does not make a whole lot of sense for me. But whatever. That's not what we're here to debate. We know it looks cool. We know it looks neat, and it's kind of wonky. But we're here to have a look at the inside, just to remind you what it was like in the back of this. Now, it used to be smaller. Sorry, you probably heard my chair creak. It used to be smaller, but they expanded this cargo hold so you could get more stuff in here. It used to be just these two little guys here, which would just barely be enough room for a bed. Now you've got this extra one, which gives it room for other stuff on both sides. And you've got this nice back ramp. You can definitely fit a gray cat in here. If you try really hard, you can fit a Nox in here. It's pretty handy for that sort of thing. But, it's a cargo bay. That's all. And that's all I have to say about the core. Let's move on to the Tana. The exterior of the Tana is green. I like that. It reminds me of my Gemini. And it's got, a very military look to it. So that's good. It's pretty cool, but it's basically just the core. So let's go ahead and hop inside. We can take a look at the guns first, see how the guns shoot. That's the little guns. There we go. There's the big guns. Yeah, so I don't know if you can turn those turrets, and honestly, I'm afraid to try, because the last time I tried to get into the co-pilot seat, see if we get a remote turret option. Oh, it's all up here. Last time I tried to get into the co-pilot seat, I got stuck. I could not get back out, and I don't want to do that again. We got this wonky thing going on with these Tron seats. I don't know why, but I don't know. It's pretty cool, I guess. You got these like weird electric neon seats. But let's get to the back, because that's what we're really here for. First thing, right off the bat, you got your sink, you got a shower, you've got a hidden pooper, and the pooper in the shower is super classy move. You can tell because they do it on the 600i. That's right. Over here, you have a bed, and this bed is something special. Let me tell you, look at this burlap sack pillowcase, and look at the way the bars run between the pads. I tell you what, I owe most of my back problems nowadays to bars just like that. The first time it ever happened to me, I slept in a bar in a convertible chair. There was a bar running across my back the night my daughter was born. I slept in that chair, and you know what? My back hasn't stopped hurting since. So this could be the fatherhood experience. Just sleep on metal bars and have horrible back pain. It'll be just like having a kid. Over here, you have the medical facilities. And I know it's weird to call that medical facilities, but please remember, this is all you get on the Starfarer Gemini, which is a large military industrial ship that deals with flammable chemicals all day, every day, right? It's a refinery, and all you get is a little boo-boo box. So if it's good enough for the Gemini, it's good enough for the Tana. Over here, we have a gun rack. I mean, I don't know what I would do with a gun rack. I didn't even have a gun, let alone many guns, which would necessitate a gun rack, but it gets one. Back here, we have a thing. It's a component. It is not labeled. Maybe you'll be changing that out for stuff later. Over here, you get something. Honestly, I have to admit I have no idea what this is. I'm sure people in the comments will be screaming, "Oh, Jim, there's a label that you missed, and 4 years ago there was something on the concept page. You should remember that," but I don't. So we're going to call it a refrigerator. Are we good? Refrigerator? Yeah, refrigerator. Okay, over here, we have a tiny little cargo slot, which actually is really handy. This could carry a lot of things. This could carry medical supplies. This could carry weapons. This could carry ammunition. In a combat ship, it's nice to have a spot for cargo, and this should be able to hold down any number of things. That's really neat. Maybe we'll get some portable stand-mounted weapons, and you can sort of stick that down there. That's pretty cool. In the back, this is basically the same as the butt end of the Reliant core, and that's fine. You get a fire extinguisher, and you get this door. All in all, I think when you factor in the extra guns and the facilities, because you are not going to be able to take every fighter everywhere, and this has better facilities. I'm trying to think of a fighter that has better facilities than this, and I'm coming up short. I mean, you've got a bed in the Avenger. You have to get some big money into your ship before you get, gun racks and 2 beds and a toilet. This is actually really nice for a long-range combat ship. This is like a mini Vanguard. So that's pretty cool. And you could even see this acting as sort of a short-range dropship, because you've got the turrets on the ends, which presumably you're going to be able to man turrets from the co-pilot seat and man them remotely so you can take care of ground troops. You can just have your guys standing around in here with the extra guns and whatever it is that you have here that you need to use, and then just sort of land and charge on out. I mean, this could be the poor man's dropship. If you really want a dropship, you'd be better off to go with a Cutlass, but this has potential. And that's it for the Reliant Tana. What do you want to do next? You want to do Sen next? Let's do the Sen next. Yeah, I forgot we were going to do combat. So what I've done is I've done a little mixing and matching. You still have the size 3 gimbal here on the wings, but I also put the Reliant core turret down here, because this is an actual turret. This is the one that should be a remote turret. And you can put 2 size 2 on here. That's actually like a size 4 hardpoint on each wing. So you can get a gimbaled size 3, or you can get a turret with 2 size 2s. I don't believe you can actually put a size 4 gun on there, but you wouldn't want to anyway, because you need the gimbals to bring everything into a convergence point. But I've done this because I like to have the maximum punch, and 2 size 2 is better than 1 size 3 in the punch department. So that's why I've switched this out. Plus, I wanted to show that you could. And I did a little bit of research. I found out that the Sen, that is in fact the sensor suite on there. And yes, the solar panels are attached to the camera-looking thing. I don't know if the camera texture is permanent, but it'll do. I mean, you can use cameras on a science ship, right? Right? Yeah. So now I'm going to demonstrate, while those guys, my wingmen, go off and fight something else, one of the benefits of having these big long wings, especially in the new flight model, is that like strafing and rotational thrust has been nerfed into the ground. Personally, I'm not a fan. I liked the fast twitchy stuff, and I understood that it needed a change, but I think it's kind like crazy bananas right now. But anyway, they're working on it. But one of the benefits, especially in that model, is that you get these thrusters on the end of the wings, right? And when you have thrusters on the end of the wings, that gives you much better rotational thrust. Like, this turns much better than a lot of other ships now, and that makes a certain amount of sense. I always thought it was weird that it turned so slow before compared to other ships, but it's got those thrusters out on the wings. They've got the leverage. And you also get better rotational thrust because you've got those big, long wings. And you can turn side to side and up and down pretty quickly because you have the big, long wings to turn you this way, and then you have very little mass in the forward-backward direction. This might be the first time a lot of you on the channel see the new flight model. I will do a video explaining all of the differences and my feelings on them later. For now, let's just use it to the best of our ability to try and blow somebody up, because we actually have a lot of guns. I mean, a lot of guns on this ship. We have 1 size 3 and 4 size 2s. You can get a total of 6 size 2s, which is about the loadout of like a Hawk, or the old overpowered Mustang Delta that I miss desperately. But here we go. Let's use all of these and see if we can slaughter this poor little lamb. We got some hits, and yeah, the pips are a little jukey at the moment. They're still working on that, so the accuracy is not what it could be. But I think we can put some hits on the ship. I should also point out that if you're comparing this to my previous videos, because one of their goals of the new flight model is to slow combat way the crap down, they've also increased the shields, typically by about double on all of the fighters. Ooh, thank you for that missile. So, and they also, the cannons here, my favorites, they also decrease damage on all the cannons. So, no more one-shotting Aurora LNs, I'm afraid, and that's okay. I don't mind that. But, yeah. So, this is how it does in combat. It's not too shabby, but as you can see, those are not exactly spot-on accurate. It's a little weird, and I don't know if that's a mistake or not. But it's overall an okay combat ship, this Reliant Tana, especially since they've got in the new flight model, it really matters where your thrusters are placed. Look at that, I'm shooting on either side of him, even though we've got turrets and gimbals. Now it really matters where your thrusters are placed. Oh, that was not bad at all. In the new flight model, the Reliant Tana is a much better ship than it would have been in 3.4. I almost forgot. I wanted to see what it looks like when you launch the missiles, so let's get a look. Oh, dang it! I didn't actually get to look. Yeah, it does come out of the wing. I didn't see the Savo, though. Let's try that again. Oh, no. I really wanted to see it fall away when I launched those things. That's a shame. Let's launch some more missiles at this turd. Yeah, it's a shame. Maybe that's something they can add in later, because that was actually a feature of the ship that I really liked. It was one of those nice details that I didn't want to lose, and it's not there. Maybe it will be. Anyway, on to the Sen. And here we go, one Reliant Sen. As I mentioned, this is... Let's see, where's it? Oh, it's way down there. This is the science turret, and that's what those are. Those are sensors, and apparently there is a camera on it. So, I mean, it looks darn good. I'm not going to deny that. Looks freaking good. Misk knows how to turn my crank. I love Misk ships. I love the looks of them. But it's still kind of ungainly. Even with the new changes in the flight model, it's still kind of ungainly. But, you know, it's coming along. I hope it gets better still. Let's have a look real quick at the inside here. Come on, get up. Get up. Get up. Get out of your Tron seat. There we go. Okay. So the first thing you'll notice is that this is all the same, right? This is the same. You get the same horrible, uncomfortable beds. Over here, you get the same useless fire extinguisher. And here, you get some new stuff. We'll start with this panel. This is a science panel. This is for all your sciencing needs. You've got all kinds of things that are likely going to go on here, but what you get right now is, and I think this is actually pretty cool, you get to manage your ship systems. And I hope this sticks around. I hope this is always a place from which you can manage your ship systems. You can get a third person in here doing that. Let's hop up. Oh man, it takes forever to get out of the chair. Almost as long as it takes me in real life. Down here, you have what looks like a sample cooler or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is or what it does. You've got this fancy pants microscope. And over here, you get one of those boxes with the rubber gloves you can reach into. So if you find a weird alien life form that kind of looks like sperm, it'll keep it from injecting you with its disgusting spermy badness, like in that one movie. What was that called? Life. What a weird movie. I liked it. Anyway, down here you have blankets, and I can tell for sure that there are blankets now because that is a Starfarer blankie. There's a rocket ship on that. These aren't weird burlap sacks or towels. These are actual blankets. So you can put it over this horribly uncomfortable bed. And I think this is really cool because all of these things speak of gameplay to come. You've got, the science station where you're going to be doing God knows what. You've got a microscope that hopefully will have gameplay functionality. This, I'm hoping, will do something in the future. It might just be ship components. I don't care what. And then this obviously looks like you're going to be, researching hazardous materials. And you've got that biohazard symbol, which for my money is one of the coolest symbols on planet Earth, even though it means something terrible. But yeah, this all speaks of gameplay that's not in the game yet. And I think that's a good thing. We focus so much on combat and cargo because that's what's functional now. We haven't even scratched the surface of what's going to be, available in Star Citizen. And it takes time. You're making a million games. How many games have you played where it's just the science game and you just do science stuff? Or it's just the economy, or it's just the combat. They're trying to do it all, and it takes forever. And this, one of the cheaper ships, has all of this stuff to do in it. Imagine when we get the Endeavor. Holy crap, man. Anyway, this is the Reliant Sen. I think it's really good looking, and I don't think we should forget that this is an extra seat. So technically you can crew this with 3 people, even though there are only 2 beds. And if you want to get super technical, there is a 4th seat. Anyway, on to the Mako. And the Reliant Mako. Looking good. Looking very, very good. I like the looks of this thing. And I wanted to point out again that this one isn't really hurt by the awkward, ungainly nature of this ship. And in fact, it is kind of helped. You get better rotational rates with the thrusters being out on these long wings, which makes you flip your camera around even faster. And that just makes a lot of sense to me. I like that a lot, and it looks really cool in general. I think this is the best of the lot, and I'm a big fan of this ship. If I get one, eventually, in-game, this is the one that I'm probably going to get. Alright, let's hop up and go take a look at the back. Man, that cockpit view is gorgeous. Alright, once again, you got your pooper, you got your boo-boo kit, and you got your horrible beds. The back is the same, but then you get this. And I think this looks really good. We'll start with the little data center here, your little media center. I assume there will be some transmissions going on from this thing. You'll be doing a lot of recording. This is a media ship. So while you don't have the long-range transmission and sensor dish that you have on like the Herald, you are going to need some computing power. I mean, I make videos, and I have to have, extra hard drive space and extra RAM and all that stuff just to render and edit and upload. So you're going to get the same thing going on here. This one has an access panel for components, which the others seem to lack in general. And then you've got this station, which I think looks darn good. I like it a lot. I think it looks fantastic. You've got, monitors and screens and this nice wraparound panel, and once we get in, you'll see one of the things that I like best about it. Come on, wraparound hologram. Lately in this game, we've been losing 3-dimensional detail for the sake of performance, and I realize it's just a hologram, but it is nice to see something brought back. Even this, the nice curves and the nice shiny angles on this thing here look really good, and the 3-dimensional hologram. It's nice to know that we're still putting in details. Plus, I mean, look at this. this is probably the best layout of any ship for the ship's systems. I mean, you've got it all right here. It looks awesome. And you've got more stuff down here. It just looks good. Fantastic. And once you've got actual camera views to look at, and you're going to want to maybe switch between modes, it's just going to be super handy. I love this whole setup. I love everything about it, and I'm really happy to see it here. This is, once again, an example of gameplay that you don't get in any other ship, and gameplay that you don't, I mean, to my knowledge, I don't know of any other game where camera operator at, you know, social events for the players is going to be a profession where you can make money. How cool is that? This is one of the reasons I fell in love with this game, and I think this ship exemplifies that whole non-traditional gameplay, social interaction mechanic that Star Citizen is going for. It's just fantastic. So, this has been the Reliant Sen. I like it very, very much. As soon as we have access to all of the 300 series, I'm going to go ahead and make the 300 videos, because let me tell you, that 300i looks sweet. If they wait too long, if I don't have it by the time this goes, you know, to public, to live by next week sometime, I'm just going to do the 300i video and be done with it. Also, it's a new patch, there's new ships, and we have to find out, will it fit? I've already recorded some of those videos, and because I have access to other ships, I did a little more with the Phoenix, and I finally did some with the Caterpillar, so you have that to look forward to as well. For now, thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate your comments, even when they're mean, and I'm trying to make more videos, but it's very hard for me right now. I've got some other things going on, as usual, and you end up with that month-long hiatus. But we've got a content dump. I've got footage to prepare, so we should get some more videos out to you soon. Thank you all again for watching, and I will see you next time.